Well, Murano is essentially a dating service for fund managers and investors. Empathy for the investors and empathy for the fund managers. We look at the fund managers and we see how hard it is to target investors that they need to speak to grow their business. And we look at the investors and we see that they're bombarded by lots of different managers that they're not firstly allocating to. They don't have money to allocate at that time, or that they've already chosen a manager that they're going to invest in. So what we say is, if we can be empathetic to both sides, the fund managers and the investors, we can help both sides and help them both grow their businesses. Our investors are based globally. We work with investors from Australia, Hong Kong, all the way to California. Our headquarters are in London, and we have an office in New York as well. And with both of those time zones, we're able to bootstrap the whole world. Murano can work with hedge funds, private equity, long only, and real asset funds. Any kind of funds that are looking to grow their assets and target institutional quality investors. Right now, we're working with fund managers all over the world. We have some funds in Asia, in Hong Kong, Singapore, and we have clients in the US and Europe and the Middle East. So we are truly global in terms of the clients that we can work with. In terms of strategy, we obviously started out working specifically with hedge funds, but we've now moved into working with fund of funds, long-only managers, real estate funds, PE funds as well. And they range from anywhere from a startup hedge fund all the way up to a large billion-dollar shop. September 2014, we started to build out the research team in the US. We've had a salesperson out there for the last year, a year and a half actually, who was trained here in London. And we also have the person who's running the research team was trained here in London too. So we have two very capable people out there, making sure that we're building up the sales there obviously, and also looking after the clients we already have in New York and the existing area. The investor base out in the US is obviously the largest in the world, so we need to take that very seriously. In London, we can call the US from about 1:30 to 2 o'clock. But now that we have people out in the US calling all the time, we're starting to really build up our investor base there too. At Murano, we have teams of analysts calling investors all over the world. We don't produce research reports for the reason is that we don't talk to everybody in the world. We go where our clients want us to go. But we have a lot of anecdotal evidence from all the calls that we're doing of certain trends going on in the market. Currently, what we've been seeing in Q1 is a strong resurgence for CTA macro managers. This has ebbed a little bit, but we've seen still a lot of interest going forward into Q2. We also have seen that equities in general, as usual, equity long short has been the #1 strategy from the investors we've been speaking to. We've also seen some interest in sector-focused funds, namely energy sector. Other trends we've seen are more for for direct lending, trade finance strategies also. We've been going now for over 4 years, and we took on our first client in the summer 2011, and that client is still with us now. We have had a lot of clients that have stayed with us over the years, and there's different reasons for that. First of all, we've been giving them ongoing support and efficiency in their sales process. We've also been given that focus that they need in terms of where to go in the market when they're at different size of their business model. So we work with some managers who are just starting out, who need to build up their sales pipeline for the first time. They get to a certain point in their sales, in their business model, and then they need to talk to a new set of investors that they don't know. So then we focus on that. So we're very good at adapting to different kinds of funds that we're working with, and also as they evolve. We also work with clients who when they start with us, they'll start with one product and then they'll decide to launch another product on top of that. And that might be from our own research. It might be a case of us showing them that if they were in a different structure, say UCITS, or they wanted to evolve their strategy in some way because there's been investor appetite. And then they'll give us a new strategy to work with. So we can either work with managers on one strategy when they're at one size and then they leave us, but we tend to see that most of our clients will stay with us as they grow or as they evolve into different diversification.